Have you ever wondered what happened to Mitsubishi? I mean, in the mid 2000s, late 90s, the rivalry between the Lancer Evo and the Impreza STI WRX, it was one of the best rivalries in automotive history. And since then, Mitsubishi's just gone downhill hard. They're just taking Renault models right now and rebadging them and calling them Mitsubishis, and they reintroduced the Eclipse, but not in the cool coupe form, obviously. They had to make a crossover SUV and call it the Eclipse Cross, which was one of the least attractive vehicles of all time. But now Mitsubishi is saying that they might actually bring back the Lancer. I doubt they're gonna do it because they don't really have a platform to build a new Lancer on. The Lancer sedan is dead since several years. And if they're gonna do it, they have to do it in collaboration with some other manufacturers, probably Renault or something like that, and have one of their sedans and turn that into an evolution Lancer Evo, which I don't think is the right way to go. But we're gonna have a look at the entire lineup of Evos here because it is a legendary lineup of Evos. I always loved this lineup from Mitsubishi. One of the coolest cars, just a rally car for the road. And I always thought that the Lancer Evo had one step, was always one step in rawness, in this rally feel above the Impreza. But that's just my perception of the Evo from when I was a child. I remember I was walking home from school one day. Maybe I was 12, 13 years old or something like that. Walking home, and I see this red Tommy Mäkinen edition Evo 6, and my mind was completely blown. I thought there was a rally event going on outside of my school because it looked like a proper rally car driving on the road. And I will always remember that moment in time when I saw the Mäkinen edition. That is peak Evo to me. It's a Tommy Mäkinen Evo 6. So we're gonna have a look at the entire lineup here, and also a new version that's been rendered by an artist that I am a big fan of. I'm gonna link his YouTube down below. So Highcade has made this rendering right here, looking absolutely sick, plantedness to the max with this design. And if you take this and slap some Tommy Mäkinen edition stickers and decals and livery on here, it looks insane. And this is, if Mitsubishi were to come back with one of these, it would be a pretty sick reintroduction of the Lancer Evo. Before we jump into Photoshop here, let's have a look what this is. What Mitsubishi themselves are saying officially about the next generation, potentially Evo. So Mitsubishi Lancer Evo might not be as dead as you think. Mitsubishi engineer sparks new hope for Lancer Evolution's return, hinting at an electrified future and potential comeback. Now this is important. Electrified and full EV are two completely different things. At least I hope so. Because electrified might mean that they're going to use a plug-in hybrid, which is still, I would want to see a Turbo 4 in this, obviously. With a big turbo, intercooled in the front, that you can see through the wire and all of that all-wheel drive. But if we're going to bring it back today, it's probably going to have to be some sort of electrification. I really hope they don't mean that the next Evo, potential Evo, is going to be a full EV. Because if that's the route they're going to take, then I can tell you this right now. Just do not do it. Do not bring back the Lancer Evolution as a full EV. Do not waste your talent, your money, or anything else on bringing back the Lancer Evolution as a full EV. That will not work. I can tell you that right now, and you will just stain the beautiful legacy of the Evo lineup. So if we're gonna bring this back, we can live with a hybrid setup, I would guess. I mean, that's what we get these days. Future Evo could use hybrid power with advanced all-wheel drive control. Sounds decent to me. The last Evolution bowed out in 2016 with the Evo X or the Evo 10. In an interview with Australian outlet Drive, there is an engineer from Mitsubishi. He hinted that the spirit of the EV, not the EV, obviously, the Evo, we know what the EV, isn't entirely dormant. We have a dream, of course, for the Lancer Evolution, and it is this engineer's personal dream. Now, I don't know how high up in the hierarchy this engineer sits, but he says it's his personal dream. I don't know if you have any leverage to get this going. So all of these points to Mitsubishi's plug-in hybrid systems, potentially paired with a super all-wheel drive, super all-wheel control, or S-AWC setup, he helped develop. He's also acknowledge that any future Evo would need to embrace electrification. So sounds like they're not going to go the route of full EVs, which is of course a good thing. But look at this rendering from Highcade here. As I said, I'm going to link his YouTube down below. He also made a red one that looks absolutely sick in the rear end here. Beautiful design. It clearly screams Evo to me. With these sharp edges, you have a nice bumper and these diffuser pieces sticking out in the lower section. Dual exhaust pipes, rally F1 style brake light in the lower section. It looks like a modernized version of the Evo X for sure, and it looks extremely aggressive. This, if Mitsubishi want to make a huge comeback, just collaborate with this artist, Highcade, and let him help you put this into production. Let him work with your engineers. Just don't change a thing. Just put this into production as it is. And I'm sure, I can tell you right now, people are going to buy this. They're definitely going to buy it over the current Impreza STI that we have going on right now. Or the WRX. So Mitsubishi's current plug-in hybrid pairs dual electric motors with a gas engine, 302 horsepower. Now, it wouldn't be difficult for Mitsubishi to extract more performance from this setup for a modernized Lancer Evo. I would want to have it be at maybe 450 horsepower, because you have to keep in mind, if you're going to add 2 electric motors, it's going to add a lot of weight to this, and weight is going to kill everything that was so special about the Evo. A light package with a 4-cylinder turbo, all-wheel drive, rally-inspired 100%. Adding all this tech, we need more power than we used to have in the older Evo. So maybe 450 or even 500 horsepower would be fantastic to see. That is never going to happen, though. So looking at the old ones here, the rally art, what happened to rally art? The last cars we've seen with rally art has just been some red stickers on the side. It's such a sad state for Mitsubishi right now, in my opinion, where they're at. It just does not make sense at all to me. They had so much potential, and look at this rendering here with these videos. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. Look at the sharpness. We have a nice chamfer underneath here. The taillight unit, Mitsubishi logo, and look at this chamfer up top. Nice chiseled headlight unit with some clear graphics, daytime run lights, and of course this Evo X inspired front end for the nose, which is all blacked out, looking beautiful. It's a beautiful looking rendering. Huge fan of this. Again, linked down to his channel in the description. Just a quick heads up before we jump into Photoshop. If you're interested in learning design sketching with me, my 11-hour online class is now only $47 throughout December. And you'll learn everything from what basics tools to use, ideation sketching, rendering, car design sketching, industrial design sketching, and much more. I'm also going to go over my 2 design portfolios page by page to show you what a portfolio looks like that got me into a master's in automotive design in Italy. Check it out at analogdesignerpropack.com, linked down below. So check out these the entire lineup here, and let me know which one is your favorite of these. I already told you which one mine is. I mean, there's no question it's going to be the Lancer Evo 6 Tommy Mäkinen edition with the white wheels and all that. Up top, we have the Lancer 3. I started with the 3 because before that, they pretty much all look the same, if I'm not mistaken. But this is still a very cool looking car. Extremely small. I mean, compare this car to the size of vehicles we have today. Vehicles today are just getting too big. Every single new replacement for the old model in 2025. I don't think I've read any car that says the car actually got smaller than its predecessor. Everything is getting bigger, and I'm sick of it. I want smaller cars. And these white wheels look great as well. Down here we have the Evo 4, I do believe, in white, looking beautiful. And the thing about the styling with these Evo models is they look so raw. They look proper. It looks like they came straight from a rally course. You have this nice side skirt in the lower section. We have some added pieces in the lower section here as well. Of course, the big wing that has a classic look to it throughout the entire history of Evos. Nothing crazy with the wing. It's just, you know, a Fast and Furious style, simple design for the wing. And that is exactly what we need on this. I've seen Evos, specifically Evo 7s, 8, and 9s without the wings, and it's never really worked for me. There's like, you're removing an arm, and it just looks like something is completely missing from the design. But this is by far the coolest Evo ever made. I don't think anybody can argue that. I mean, maybe you can, but for me, it's just No question that this is the coolest Evo ever made. The Tommy Mäkinen edition in red with the Rally Art stickers right here. We have this beautiful line, this wide body going in into the side and then coming back in the back here as well. It doesn't look well integrated, and that is the entire point. It's supposed to be raw, and it's supposed to look like they took in regular Evo and just slapped on some rally pieces here. Not as beautiful as we have on the GR Corolla with the body kit, with the wider fender sitting nicely integrated and sculpted in the rest of the body. Here, it actually looks like an aftermarket kit from factory, and I love that about the Evo 6 specifically. And then we have this beautiful wing in the back. This, I do believe, is an Evo 8, if I'm not mistaken, but they look the same, pretty much same from 7 to 9, I do believe. This, to me, it's not one of my favorite Evos, because I think it got too big here. I think the wheelbase, they elongated the wheelbase a lot, and the size overall just makes it feel like a much bigger vehicle than the Evo 6 and the one before that. It's still a very cool looking car, of course. Still has, of course, rally feel to it with all these added pieces. But you can see we don't have the same aggressive wide body kit that we had on the Evo 6 up here. The wheels look great as well. And the overall proportions has this clear 3-box design with a clearly defined trunk and also the greenhouse right here and the hood design. And going into the Evo 10, the Evo 10 to me has really never did anything for me. I just don't think this, I think they should have skipped the Evo 10 altogether, because it just doesn't feel any sort of special vibe around this vehicle compared to the previous Evos. This just was a normal Mitsubishi to me when it comes to the styling. Everything got a lot more subtle. We don't have any sort of wide body kit here. Maybe we have a little bit of a wider body in this case, and also up here, but it's too nice. It just looks too nice for an Evo. An Evo is not supposed to be a beautiful vehicle. It's supposed to be a raw design, and this definitely does not have this rawness that I want to see in Evos, even though we have some very nice line flow going on here that I'm just noticing right now. For example, extending this line goes straight into this line in the bumper, and we have the beautiful shoulder line here as well. Thankfully, we still have this wing up top in the back right there. And this is the high-cade rendering of a potential, I would assume, Evo 11. Now, this is going back to this rawness that I want to see. First of all, check out this skyline fender in the rear. Sharp shoulder line, and see where it connects right to the corner of the headlight, going through the entire body, creating the base for the massive wing in the rear. And we have the corner of the taillight connecting to this wide body fender in the rear end. We have a cutout right here, and these added pieces that do not look like they belong to this car. They look like aftermarket pieces, but at the same time feels very nicely integrated in a way in the design compared to what we had on the Evo 6. So it's still a little bit more sophisticated design or integrations of these parts, but it looks absolutely stunning. And as I said, if Mitsubishi want to make a massive splash with one of the greatest comebacks of all time, this is the type of vehicle they are going to need to build. For enthusiasts, not any ridiculous crossover and call it a Lancer Evo with some rally art red decals and sticker on it. You need to make it a proper resurrection of the Lancer Evo if you want, I guess, your company to survive and still have some pride in it.